All right, if you're getting ready for the Kentucky Shampoo and Styling PSI exam, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to dig into the single most important topic on that test, your legal scope of practice. Nailing this is the key to walking in and passing with total confidence. So let's just jump right in with the big one, shall we? What is the number one reason that students actually fail this exam? It's not because they don't have the skills. The answer, well, it's probably not what you think, and it's something we need to tackle right now.
And there it is. The biggest trap is your own natural instinct to be helpful. I mean, in the real world, you see a problem, you want to fix it for your client, right? But on this exam, the helpful answer that steps even 1 inch outside your legal license, that is an automatic fail. We're going to make sure that does not happen to you.
So that really gets to the heart of what the PSI exam is all about. Look, it's not just testing if you can do a great blowout. It is designed to protect the public. That's why the test is absolutely obsessed with one thing. Do you know what you are legally allowed to do, and, maybe even more importantly, what you're not?
So how do you avoid that trap? Simple. You've got to know your boundaries. Success on this exam starts with having a crystal clear picture of the lines you cannot cross. So let's get super clear on what's inside your license toolbox of services. So what is this license exactly? Well, the official definition really says it all. It is a limited license. The words you really need to hear are the restrictions: no cutting, no chemicals, and nothing that penetrates the skin. This isn't a full cosmetology license, and that distinction, well, it's everything on this test.
Yeah, and this chart just makes it super, super clear. Think of it like two different lanes on the highway. On the left, that's your lane, shampooing and non-chemical styling. On the right, that's a full cosmetologist. They can do everything you can, plus all the chemical stuff, the cutting, the skin treatments. Your license is a focused specialty in that bigger world.
Okay, so enough of what you can't do. Let's flip this around and talk about your professional toolkit, all the services you absolutely can perform. These are your green light answers on the exam. These are your safe zones. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. You can shampoo and condition hair, of course. You can do non-medical scalp cleansing. You can blow dry. You can style with hot tools. Draping the client, talking to them about the style they want, that's all part of your job. If it's on this list, you're good to go. Okay, and now for maybe the most critical part of this whole thing. Understanding these red lines, the absolute no-goes, is your secret weapon against those tricky exam questions. And when I say no, I mean absolutely no. No cutting, not even a little trim. No chemicals like color, perms, or relaxers. You can't do medical treatments or try to diagnose what's going on with someone's scalp. And for sure, no skin, waxing, or nail services. Seriously, getting this list burned into your brain is how you protect your license.
Okay, look at this. This slide is basically your ultimate PSI cheat code. You have to memorize this. If you see an answer choice on the exam that even mentions cutting, chemicals, medical treatments, or diagnosing something, it is wrong. It's automatically wrong. No second guessing, just cross it right off the list.
You know, the source material says it best. PSI does not allow almost correct. There is no gray area here. Trimming one little split end isn't close enough. On this exam, an answer is either 100% inside your scope or it's 100% wrong, period. Okay, let's move on to those situations where you might, be tempted to bend the rules a little. These are the classic PSI traps, where they test to see if you'll cave under pressure. Let me save you the trouble. The answer is always no. You never, ever bend the rules. Okay, this one is huge. Just because a licensed cosmetologist is in the room, watching over your shoulder, that does not give you their powers. You can't just start trimming hair because they're there to supervise. You are always, and I mean always, bound by what your license says. It doesn't matter who else is in the room. And this one, it's completely non-negotiable. If you see anything like an open wound, something that looks contagious, or any blood, your only move is stop. You have to politely and professionally refuse the service. On the test, picking safety over service is always going to be the right answer.
And here it is, the final boss of exam traps. I don't care if a client is begging you, pleading with you, or signs a waiver on a gold plaque. A client's request can never, ever make an illegal action legal. State law always, always wins.
All right, time for a little pop quiz. Let's see how this works in a real scenario. A client absolutely loves their blow-dry and asks you to just quickly snip their ends. What's the right move? Think back to those red lines we talked about. Yep, the only right answer here is to refuse and professionally explain that cutting hair is outside your scope of practice. That's the only response that proves you know the law and you respect your license. Okay, ready for another one? A client is complaining about dandruff and asks you for a scalp treatment. What is the best action? This one really tests that fine line between cleansing, which you can do, and treating, which you absolutely can't. So the pro move here is actually a two-parter. First, you perform a gentle, non-medical shampoo, which is perfectly in your lane. But because you can't diagnose or treat, the second and really crucial step is to suggest they see a medical professional or a licensed cosmetologist. That's how you stay professional, helpful, and most importantly, legal. All right, let's wrap this all up. Look, this is about so much more than just passing a test. This is about starting your career as a true professional, one who understands and respects the law. This knowledge protects you, it protects your clients, and it protects your license. So if you remember nothing else, remember these 5 things. These are your keys to success. Number 1, your scope is strictly limited. 2, supervision doesn't change a thing. 3, a client's request can't break the law. 4, safety comes first, always. And 5, avoid being helpful if it means being illegal. And just remember why all this is so important. In the real world, stepping outside your scope isn't just a wrong answer on a test. It can lead to some really serious stuff, like fines, a disciplinary record, or even losing that license you've worked so incredibly hard to earn. So there you have it. You know the boundaries, you know the green lights, you know the critical red lines. You know the traps and exactly how to avoid them. So the question isn't, can you pass the test anymore? It's, are you ready to be a professional? You've got this.